When you talk to an influencer, the purpose of the call is to get more and more information about the account and the upcoming projects from the in that particular account. What I generally do in those cases is to start asking questions which are simpler for the person to answer regarding the SAP status of the account. One of the things which I start with is, do you have the SAP ECC 6 version in your landscape? If not, they are already on the 4.7 or earlier version, I ask them if you must be looking for an upgrade in the coming year or so. Is that so? And so on. I also ask if they have only ECC or do they have the business suite such as CRM, SRM, SCM, and so on. Um, I find that most of the companies above 1 billion do have most of the other business suites. However, many of the companies below the 1 billion turnover and most of the companies below the 500 million turnover do not have the other business suite. They only have ECC. So the moment they tell that, yeah, they do have the CRM or the SRM, I ask them about the versions and what they have been doing, or is there something happening on those systems? Is there a new projects coming up on those things? I also ask about the different modules within the ACC that they are running. Do they run only financials? Do they run the logistics and the HR and so on? Which gives a flavor of what all they could be doing. And generally ask about some other details of what all do they do in those areas too. With, Sometimes these lead to what are the possible projects that might happen in the past, may happen in the future, in the short future. Um, when the terms come to financial, I also ask if they do the planning and constellation using a tool. Is that an SAP? Have they looked at that in PVC also? Um, or I also ask if they do the manual testing within the SAP environment. Have they considered the automated testing? Have they looked at the SAP DAO if the combination goes that direction and so on? So using a bunch of these questions around the different solutions where we have the offerings helps. Um, I also ask about the risk and compliance, which leads to the discussion around the SAP GRC, if they have ever considered that or if they are going to consider in the coming future. So if we uh, position ourselves around the solutions of SAP and ask the business related questions, they generally turn out to some of the potentials in those particular accounts, what they might be doing in the coming year. And that's how I get more and more information. I make sure I note down all those points and update the Zoho with the appropriate information.